In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversations and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section, with special directions for each part. Answer all the questions on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers you hear. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers on the computer screen and choose the best answer. Then, click on the answer you have chosen. Listen to an example.
That exam was just awful.
Oh, it could have been worse.
What does the woman mean? On the computer screen, you read A. The exam was really awful. B. It was the worst exam she had ever seen. C. It couldn't have been more difficult. D. It wasn't that hard. You learn from the conversation that the man thought the exam was very difficult and that the woman disagreed with the man. The best answer to the question, "What does the woman mean?" is D. It wasn't that hard. Therefore, the correct choice is D.
The movie we saw last night was really funny.
I'll say.
Number 1. What does the man mean?
Sue said that Monday's a holiday.
But that's completely false.
Number 2. What does the woman mean?
What do you think of this weather?
It's very warm today.
Number 3. What does the man mean?
Where do you want to sit today?
Let's sit near the front so we can see the board.
Number 4. What does the woman suggest?
Do we need to get gas?
Yes. Let's stop at the next gas station and fill up the tank.
Number 5. Where does this conversation most likely take place?
Do you know who prepared this report?
Sally prepared it.
Number 6. What does the man say about the report?
I think we should wait another year to get a new car.
Me too.
Number 7. What does the woman mean?
How about a little music? Maybe we could turn on the radio.
But the radio's not working.
Number 8. What does the woman say about the radio?
What do you think of the assignment for English class?
It takes much longer than the last one.
Number 9. What does the man say about the assignment?
The ideas for our presentation still aren't clear to me.
Let's go to the cafeteria and talk about it some more.
Number 10. What does the woman suggest?
Where are you heading now?
I have an appointment to get a cavity filled in one of my teeth.
Number 11. Who is the man most likely going to see?
I didn't know that there was a change in policy on overtime pay.
But it was announced last week by the department head.
Number 12. What does the man mean?
Tuition has gone up again. It's just too expensive.
You can say that again.
Number 13. What does the man mean?
Do you know where the dog is?
All I know is that the dog's not inside.
Number 14. What does the man mean?
In this course, we're learning about payables and receivables.
And in the next course, we'll be learning about taxes.
Number 15. What are the man and woman most likely training to be?
I don't have the coat I wanted to wear. My sister borrowed it.
Why not wear a different one?
Number 16. What does the man suggest?
Can you tell me the time?
Sorry, but my watch needs to be repaired.
Number 17. What does the woman say about the watch?
Did you get the loan from the bank?
Yes, I did. The loan was just approved by the bank manager.
Number 18. What does the woman mean?
I thought that meal was a little overpriced.
So did I.
Number 19. What does the man mean?
Did the professor's announcement surprise you?
No, I expected it.
Number 20. What does the woman mean?
Have you watched Rick play baseball?
Yes, I have. He's a very talented athlete.
Number 21. What does the woman say about Rick?
I've been working on this chemistry chapter for hours, but I don't understand it.
Why not take a break and try reading it again later?
Number 22. What does the man suggest?
Can you see the screen from these seats?
No. Unfortunately, the man sitting in front of me is too tall.
Number 23. Where does this conversation most likely take place?
We just got a letter today saying that we were late paying some of our bills.
But our bills were paid on time.
Number 24. What does the woman mean?
I can't find my math book, and I need to read the next chapter before class.
Why not borrow my book? You can take it now if you want.
Number 25. What does the woman suggest?
I'm going over to the bookstore now to see if I can get the book.
So am I. Let's go together.
Number 26. What does the woman mean?
Did Mrs. Field ask you about working overtime?
She asked me, but I didn't answer.
Number 27. What does the woman mean?
I haven't seen Mike in a while. Did you talk with him?
He just greeted me cheerfully and then went on his way.
Number 28. What does the woman say about Mike?
I have a prescription that needs to be filled.
If you leave it with me, I can take care of it in a few minutes.
Number 29. Who is the man most likely to be?
Did you write last quarter's financial report?
Well, I wrote the first draft, but then it was rewritten.
Number 30. What does the woman imply? Part B. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers on the computer screen and choose the best answer. Then click on the answer you have chosen. Questions 31 through 34. Listen to a conversation between 2 students. The conversation is about a physics class.
Do you understand how this physics class is organized? The class schedule says the class meets Monday through Thursday, but the professor said today that he would see us only 2 times a week.
That's because we meet with a teaching assistant twice a week.
Oh, so there are 2 meetings a week with the professor.
Yes, on Mondays and Wednesdays.
And 2 meetings a week with the teaching assistant?
Yes, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The professor will be giving lectures on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then the teaching assistant will be working on physics problems with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So on Mondays and Wednesdays, we'll be listening to lectures from the physics professor and taking notes, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll be working on physics problems with the teaching assistant?
Exactly. Then on Fridays, we get a day off to relax a bit.
A day off does sound good.
Number 31. What does the class schedule say about the physics class? Number 32. What would the students most likely be doing in physics class on Mondays? Number 33. What does the physics teaching assistant do? Number 34. What happens on Fridays? Questions 35 through 38. Listen to a conversation between two friends. The conversation is about a bear that escaped from the zoo.
Did you hear about the bear that was in our neighborhood yesterday?
A wild bear? In our neighborhood?
Oh, it wasn't exactly a wild bear. It was a bear that escaped from the zoo.
The bear got out of the zoo? How did that happen?
Well, apparently the bear's enclosure was left open when one of the zookeepers took in food for the bear. Then the bear just escaped and went out into the neighborhood near the zoo.
Well, what happened then?
A number of residents in the neighborhood got quite a surprise when they looked out their windows and saw a bear moving through their yards.
I wish I could have seen it. That would have been quite exciting. Has the bear been captured and taken back to the zoo?
Yes, but only after quite a chase. People who saw the bear called the zoo, and a number of zookeepers came to deal with it. However, by the time the zookeepers got there, the bear had returned to the zoo on its own.
Number 35. What are the man and woman discussing? Number 36. How did the bear get out of the zoo? Number 37. According to the man, how did residents react to the bear? Number 38. How did the situation end up? Part C. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear several talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers on the computer screen and choose the best answer. Then click on the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. Listen to an instructor talk to his class about painting.
Artist Grant Wood was a guiding force in the school of painting known as American Regionalist. a style reflecting the distinctive characteristics of art from rural areas of the United States. Wood began drawing animals on the family farm at the age of 3, and when he was 38, one of his paintings received a remarkable amount of public notice and acclaim. This painting, called American Gothic, is a starkly simple depiction of a serious couple staring directly out at the viewer.
Now listen to a sample question. What style of painting is known as American Regionalist? On the computer screen, you read A. Art from America's inner cities. B. Art from the central region of the United States. C. Art from various urban areas in the United States. D. Art from rural sections of America. The best answer to the question, what style of painting is known as American Regionalist, is D. Art from rural sections of America. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Questions 39 through 42. Listen to a lecture by a professor in a history course. The lecture is on the Comstock load.
The topic for today is the Comstock load. Do any of you know what the Comstock load was? The Comstock load was the largest deposit of silver ever found in the United States. It was located in the mountains of Nevada, in the southwest of the United States, and it produced a huge amount of silver ore in the second half of the 19th century. The Comstock lode was named after Henry Comstock, who was a prospector, a person who looks for deposits of valuable minerals. Henry Comstock didn't become really rich from the silver in the Comstock lode. He didn't become rich because he didn't understand just how much silver there was in the Comstock lode, and he sold his claim to the silver for $10,000. When he received this $10,000, he thought that it was a huge sum of money. However, over the time that the Comstock lode was active in the second half of the 19th century, it produced more than $100 million in silver. Henry Comstock had to be content with his $10,000.
Number 39. What was the Comstock lode? Number 40. Where was the Comstock lode found? Number 41. What type of work did Henry Comstock do? Number 42. What is stated about Henry Comstock? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to a lecture by a professor in an astronomy course. The lecture is on the sun.
Today we'll be talking about our sun and what it's made of. Our sun is a star, and like most stars, it is made almost completely of two gases. The two gases that make up most of our sun are helium and hydrogen. In addition to the helium and hydrogen, there are very small amounts of other elements. Helium and hydrogen make up most of the sun. Most other stars, like the sun, are also made of these same two gases. These two gases are compressed at the center of the sun. This means that they're pressed tightly together. The gases are compressed very strongly in the center. As a result, it becomes hot enough there for nuclear fusion to take place. The nuclear fusion causes hydrogen atoms to combine and form helium. As a result of the nuclear fusion reactions, energy is released from the sun. This energy that's released as a result of the nuclear fusion of hydrogen atoms into helium moves to the surface of the sun. From the surface of the sun, the energy is released as heat and light.
Number 43. How many gases make up most of the sun? Number 44. What happens to the two gases in the center of the sun? Number 45. What happens during the nuclear fusion in the center of the sun? Number 46. What happens as energy is released from the sun? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to a talk by a guide on a tour of New York City. The guide is talking about the New York Public Library.
Today, we'll be visiting the New York Public Library. You'll have about 2 hours to explore the New York Public Library on your own before you return to the tour bus. Unfortunately, 2 hours isn't very much time to explore such a big place. It would be better to have an entire day. The New York Public Library was founded in 1895. It was created from 2 private libraries. The 2 private libraries were joined together to form a public library. Today, the library contains an extraordinary number of items, more than 9 million books and 21 million other items, including maps, prints, photographs, recordings, and manuscripts. These 9 million books and 21 million additional items make a total of 30 million items. There are numerous rooms and exhibits in the library, and you'll only have time to visit some of them. You should definitely walk through the main reading room, the biggest room in the library. It's a really big room that's 2 blocks long and is filled with oak tables. I think you can understand that it's too bad that we'll have only 2 hours to visit this amazing library. But sadly, that's all the time we'll have.
Number 47. How much time can the students spend in the library? Number 48. What is stated about the creation of the public library? Number 49. How many total items are in the library? Number 50. What is not true about the main reading room?